All right, so for this problem, it says create a graph of the system of equations, then determine the solution. So for this, we see a system. We've kind of focused so much on elimination and substitution that we might think that first. But because it says create a graph, we have to graph these two lines to see where they intersect to figure out our solution. So we are going to figure out how to graph these. So I'm going to use two different colors. For the first one, I'm going to use blue, so I put a little blue dot next to it. I'm going to start with the first one because it's already in slope-intercept form. So we are going to begin with our b value, and our b value is our -7. So we begin there. And so we're going to put a point at -7 on our y-axis. So right there. Once we have that, we want to use our slope to move. Our slope is the number in front of our x, which is our 5. And so it's a +5. And so we want to go up 5 to the right 1. So from the point we just put on the graph, we're going to go up 5 and to the right 1. So it's going to be about right there. And we can do it again. Okay, and we can keep doing it. But I want to extend this, and my dots are a little wonky. So extend that up there. And so we have a nice line that we can use. Okay, so that is our line for our first equation. Our second equation, I'm going to use a different color. The second equation is not in slope-intercept form. So you could change it into slope-intercept form, or you could find the intercepts. I'm going to go ahead and find the intercepts for this one. And so to do that, we have to plug in 0 for our variables. So we have -3. I'm taking the x out and plugging 0 in. Minus 2y equals -12. Because I'm plugging in 0 for x, I'm going to find my y-intercept first. So -3 times 0 was 0, so that goes away. So we're left with -2y equals -12. That negative stays with that 2. To solve for y, we want to divide both sides by -2, and we get y equals a +6. And so what we just found is our y-intercept is at a +6. So we're going to go ahead and put a dot at +6 on our y-axis. Purple doesn't show up as good. Now we need our x-intercept. To find our x-intercept, we're going to plug in 0 for y. So we have -3x minus 2 times 0 equals -12. -2 times 0 is 0, so we can cross that part out. So we have -3x equals -12. To solve for x, we want to divide both sides by -3, and we get our x value to be a +4. So we have x equals a +4. And so we can put a point at +4 on our x-axis, which is over here. So I want to draw my line between my two intercepts, and I want to extend it the best that I can. And so my line looks like that. Whoops. Okay, so now that we have our two lines, we can figure out what the solution is. So right now, we don't have an answer. We need to figure out what point they have in common and write that point. And so it looks like this point right here is where they cross. The x value of that point is going to be 2, and the y value is 3. So this point is 2, 3. So we need to write that as our answer, and that is our solution. So if we did solve it using substitution for this one, we should get the same answer. So 2 comma 3 is the solution to this system.